everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday Sew and Chat. I'm still working on the Jelly Roll Quilt, the Trifles pattern. I think all of the information to it is still in the description of the video if you didn't get it last week. So yeah, so more of the same sewing. I really want to get this one done because it's coming together pretty quickly and it's really, really cute.
It is. I love it.
I have 3 more rows to do, so not too bad. And it's a really easy sew. All of the blocks are the same. The only thing that really changes is whether the rows are facing up on each, the segments are facing up on each. I don't really even know how to explain it, or vertical or horizontal. So yeah, more of the same sewing here. What have you all been working on this week so far? Let us know in the chat what quilt patterns you've been working on or trying to finish up, or any other crafting you may be doing.
All right. I tried to respond as to many people as I could, but it's like getting hard for me to follow. So hello to everyone. Candace, I didn't say hi to. Hello, Melina Montoya, and Constance. Yep, Linda, I know, always work on Wednesday. Hopefully you have a good time.
My thread came out.
Did you have a bobbin issue or?
No, like out of the needle. Just I probably cut one of the things with Jugi, and if you have one, you probably know and go through the same thing, is if you're sewing and cut the thread before you've completely stopped sewing, the thread comes out of the needle and you have to rethread it. So slow down, because it takes a lot longer to rethread this than if it would be to just wait and pause after you're sewing and then cut the thread with the automatic thread cutter. But I did see Amy's in the chat, so I want to say hey to Amy. Amy has a channel on YouTube as well, and she just put up a video today that was a lot of fun to watch. She is so talented. She is part of the Creators Collab that Sew Becca started. At the end of December, she announced it, and I think she has, I think 10 or 11 different YouTube channels, each making a row for a quilt that's going to get all sewn together and quilted by Tiffany from My Quilting Life. So definitely check out her row. It just went up today. It is absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. She, well, I don't want to spoil it, so just go watch it if you haven't yet. But I think so far, Sean from The Guy Who Sews shared his row for the quilt. Beth from Goody Goods showed her row. I can't remember her name, but I think it's the farmhouse on Highway J. Oh, I wish I could remember her name. It's right at the tip of my tongue. I feel like it starts with an E. Please let me know in the chat if you know. But I think her row has been posted so far, and I think that's it. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to make sure to get them all, because I've watched them all so far and they are all really, really beautiful.
So to your question, Luane is putting together the large bomb pop CCPMQ.
Oh, okay. The puzzle mystery quilt from Cotton Cuts.
Bettina is crocheting a baby blanket.
Ooh.
I love baby blankets. So when we got married, I still had my baby blanket. I keep looking over here because that's where the camera normally is. So when we got married, I still had my baby blanket from when I was a baby. And it was in bad shape, but I loved it because it was very comfy. But we ultimately ended up getting rid of it because it was like, there's no way to save it. It was, 30 plus years old. So, well, I guess it wasn't 30 years old when we met and got married. But point is, I don't have it anymore, but I love baby blankets.
Do you think we have those crates that have old blankets in it, so I wonder if we just stored it away.
We may have.
Because I know there's blankets in there, like old quilts of the kids, and my grandmother, is it grandmother, step grandmother maybe? She crocheted Lorelei a pink baby blanket, and I think that I know we kept that. So I wonder if we kept it and just put it away so it wouldn't get
I
wore
don't
out
know.
more.
Lena Coleman is from Alaska, so welcome. We love Alaska. She's looking forward to starting this pattern, the Dancing
Nice.
Star Quilt pattern, at least. Vicky Bush is working on spring mug rugs. I love mug rugs. Brenda is having a basting party this weekend.
Ooh.
So good. Hopefully you're not doing any of the basting. You're having everyone else do it for you. That's the way to go. Joy T is working on her puzzle mystery quilt, Clue 3.
Nice.
And Nancy, the ever crafty Nancy, made an under sewing machine caddy this week. So good for you, Nancy. That's awesome. So I got to catch back up in the chat now. Constance is trying to rearrange her quilting area because it's so small. Yeah, you just got to find ways where you can utilize, like, have multi-use stuff. I've seen a lot of people with smaller areas that will have like fold-up tables or crates that they can work on, but also store stuff in.
You're able to check if I messed something up in the back end of YouTube, because it looks like a lot of ads are coming up on.
What the fuck? Oh, I can check. I don't know that I can change anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because once it started. But did you not just use the same settings?
I did, but I wonder if they changed, because you know how that one time when we tried putting the video and we checked and it changed on its own.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
because all I did was go in and fix the closed captioning, but
yeah, I can check, but I don't think there's anything I can do once it's started. I should have started. It was my fault this week. I was supposed to set up the video and I didn't.
He has a routine with it now, and so he told me this morning I needed to set it up because he was really busy with work, and so I set it up. And I remember to go in and check to make sure we set up the closed captioning for those who need it. But I know it's supposed to set not to do ads, but I don't know. Sometimes it seems like YouTube wants to do what it wants to do.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but it is what it is. Oh, Christina is in the chat. That's my wife's friend from elementary school, high school.
I don't see her yet.
Since
middle school, I think. I don't like our town. The town we grew up in was so small that it like the middle school, high school, all of that was like high school was 6th through 12th grade. So I guess it was maybe elementary school because I think we met in 4th grade. So that's typically elementary, right?
4th grade is elementary. That is affirmative. Sad that you don't know that.
Well, like I said, it was interesting.
Okay. Excuse me. I need you to verify because it's on the computer. Okay, thank you.
We got, I know a lot of people have been asking about the clear acrylic that we got. And we had showed, what did we already post? Oh, all the trim lock sizes had been up for a while in the clear. Then we got sick, and now I think we got up the slide locks in clear, correct?
Yep. So slide locks in clear, both sizes are available. All of the flying geese are now available in clear, and the paper piecing rulers.
Yeah.
We also have the quilt locks, but we haven't taken photos of those yet, so that'll probably be tomorrow. And the diamond trim lock, which I'm trying to actually do right now because my wife had taken pictures of it and I just didn't see it, so that was my bad. Yeah, so it won't even let me see what the settings are right now. For this video.
If you go up to the create button, does it?
I'm checking.
No.
Nope.
Sorry about that. I'll make sure to check it next week before we get on to make sure it's not acting up.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Creative Minds is doing a Christmas Irish chain quilt.
Ooh, I bet that's gonna look really pretty.
Debbie's on a 2021 UFO. Good for her. Hey, Frank, welcome to the chat. Diane, welcome to your first live. Maybe your last, depending on how it goes. The Dancing Star ruler isn't a ruler per se. It's just a 9.5-inch trim lock, basically. Or it's 9.5, right?
Yeah, that pattern also uses the 3.5-inch by 2-inch a flying geese block. But you don't need either of the rulers to complete that quilt. I mean, you can use whatever rulers you have if you would like.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier.
Hey, Jay Klein-Atlan changed her name, so it says Joyce now, which is so much easier for me to say. So thank you.
She was always impressed how you pronounced it, though.
I know. But... So what was I going to say? Oh, also, so I feel like 2 months ago, everyone had asked about trays. And I said, hey, I'm working on it. I finally got the wood, and I got the wood like a month and a half ago. But then I came to find out that I was out of the magnets that I use, and I didn't know that I was. That's my bad. So I contacted my vendor, but they no longer sell them. So I tried to get new magnets from another vendor. They were not good. So I am still trying to find new magnets. And that's the biggest delay. I would love to get them made, and I essentially have them made. There's just no magnets in them because I don't have any. So I'm trying to rectify that situation. It's just hard to find American companies that make stuff nowadays. When we try to buy everything from American companies so that we're supporting local businesses. And the sort of magnets that I use, they're neodymium. I think that's what they're called. They're not the easiest to find because they're very small, but they're very powerful. So I am working on trying to find a new vendor for magnets. So if anyone knows anyone who makes magnets, like please let me know. I'd love to get some more. Thank you, Paula. I don't know the answers to those. That's my wife's department. She says that the description for your MSQC, your Missouri Star link says March. And she's not sure if the 20% off still goes into May.
I
just
am not sure because I haven't gone in to look what the new update is on it. Okay. I will try to get that updated.
Again, that's my bad. Yeah. I usually update that stuff, but I do not.
But I can't remember because it is the first of the month, right? I haven't gone into the Missouri, like that area to see what it is.
Lynn is from Oregon, so welcome, Lynn. She said hello. She wasn't just telling us she's from Oregon. Well, Michelle, if you ever move to the local area, let us know because we need more help than we have right now. So, Lynn, did we say we have quilt rulers now? It depends on what your definition of ruler is. But we do have some paper piecing rulers. Some quilt, we've got a bunch of stuff that could be considered rulers. You can take a look on our website and see if there's anything that tickles your fancy.
We don't have like the numbered.
No, rulers. I mean, I wanted to make some. I just, between professional life and being sick and a bunch of other stuff, I haven't got around to it. But yes, I do plan to make actual rulers. I just haven't had the time. Have we sold a lot of the postcard rulers? Yes, we have sold a lot of them. It was a great idea from Ian, and
yeah, he had a really nice design on it. I like his logo on it. It turned out really good. You did a good job transferring it so that it would look good.
I had to edit the image quite a bit because, well, for many reasons, to make sure it still looked good. But yeah, very happy with the way they came out. Oh, cool, Lynn. Lynn says she has a video using the trim lock plus a video using the trim lock quilting. So maybe the quilt lock.
Ooh, I will have to check it out when you get it.
Yeah, she says she hasn't posted it yet.
Yeah.
But shoot us a message when you do, because we'll love to watch it and see
and
it.
share it. I can share it on my community post if you want me to, so that people can see your thoughts on it.
Michelle Templeman says she's proud to announce that her oldest UFO is finished.
Oh, nice.
That is awesome.
Mine is taunting me over there on that side of the room. It's the one that I've been hand quilting. I need to get going on it some more.
I will do
that. Melissa, I love that. Her husband asked what she wants for Mother's Day, and she sent him our website.
Nice. So I think we've said this multiple times before. Oh, I need to get out of this. We're really bad about things like that. Holidays, like we never celebrate holidays.
Except Christmas.
Yeah, we do Christmas and the kids' birthdays. I mean, this year, to be fair, the kids did buy me stuff, so that was nice. But I think it was literally our daughter can drive now. She's 16, and our son around, I want to say 2:30 or 3:30 p.m. or 2:30 or 3 p.m. on my birthday was like, "Hey, I forgot it was Dad's birthday." So he finagled my daughter to take him somewhere because my son's memory is ridiculous.
It's him I wish I had his memory, honestly.
So several months ago, he and I were at Best Buy looking at something. I don't remember what. I'm sure he does.
Headphones. I know that because he told me recently that that's why y'all were there.
And I made a very passing statement. So Van Gogh is my favorite artist, and Starry Night is my favorite painting. And they have, I don't know why it was at Best Buy, but they had like a 3D Lego that's quite large of Starry Night. And I made a passing comment as we were walking by it. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I'd love to have that. He remembered that. So they went out and bought it for me, which is great. And I'm like working through it. I've got like maybe a third of it done. But so we don't typically do that. But this will be news to you. I got emails, as everyone does, from companies that I have purchased stuff from before, or companies that have stolen my data from God knows where, and they've emailed me trying to sell me stuff. And there was one that said, Mother's Day's coming up. You should buy your wife something. And I was like, you know what? I should. So I did. So you don't know what it is.
Well, that was just rude. I thought you were going to announce what it is.
No. You have to wait. You have to wait.
You'll have to show the Lego completed when you get it all done.
Oh, I should, because it's going to be so cool.
It already looks really cool.
It does. Hello, Jill and Maritza. They joined.
I think I jumbled up like how I laid out these pieces because I was very careful on laying them out in a certain way so that some of the same prints weren't right next to each other. Either that I've not been paying attention and have been pulling them from the wrong stack, because you probably can't see on the camera, but I have them like laid out so that I know where I wanted them all, but I think I messed up.
Anti-handmade, that is horrible. So she finished her oldest UFO and then handed it off to a Longarmer, who then reached out and told her that her long arm was broken.
Oh no!
But she hasn't been able to reach the Longarmer since. I know.
Oh no!
That's messed up.
I really would love to do that for people at some point. I'm very new on the one that we got, so I would definitely not feel comfortable doing it yet, but I would absolutely feel awful with somebody's quilt if something went wrong, or if we agreed on a design but then they just didn't like how it turned out, or whatever it could be. I would just feel awful because I know how much goes into a quilt. So that part worries me because I'm like, I don't know, I wouldn't want, even if I didn't technically do anything wrong, like if all the stitches were correct but they just for some reason didn't like, I would feel awful. Very brave people who do that.
Yeah.
I think I will get to a point where I'd feel comfortable doing them, but definitely not right now.
Well, and we still haven't even delved into the was it Stitcher Pro or what's it
Yeah. We got to go get it. I think I told that story, but
yeah. So I think once we get that up and running, then it'd be a lot easier because
yeah. I mean, I think there's still going to be a learning curve to it, but I think with the computerized portion, I would feel a little more comfortable. It's like you pick this design and then it, goes on.
Melissa said that her husband asked her which one she wants, and she said all of them.
That's how I feel whenever they ask me about my birthday. Like, just get some fabric, get some thread. I'm happy. Whatever it is, I will figure out something to make with it.
Jill says she's listening while watching to the Dallas Stars game. So I assume by the fact that you said Dallas Stars, you're not a Knights fan, Golden Knights fan. I like the Golden Knights, so I hope they win. But it's been a good series so far. So, Candace, the Longarm we have is Amy. I may need you to help us out on this one because I honestly don't remember.
I think it's the Quilt Maker Pro.
Yeah, Quilt Maker Pro 20, maybe. I think is what it is. It's the same. I think it's the same one that Amy has. Amy DeMett.
She has it. It's like the same thing, but in a different brand because they're all made by the same company, but different brands.
So yeah, I think it's the Quilt Maker. Quilt Maker Pro 20, like that. Let's see. Vicky just got back from a summer of '99 Creed cruise. So that Creed the band was on it with other bands. Be curious to know what other bands were on it as well.
Oh my gosh, you just saw this. Okay, I probably shouldn't say, is she still on the cruise or she said she just got back?
She just got back.
That video we watched the other day of that cruise ship with all the wind on it, that was really scary.
Oh yeah, we saw this.
To be fair, I don't know when it happened because it didn't have a date on it.
But it was a video of a cruise ship in Tampa. No, it was Port St. Lucie?
Canaveral.
Or Port Canaveral. They were just taking off. Now, why they decided to do that in the middle of a hurricane is beyond me. But there were literally people that were outside on the cruise ship on the upper decks, and they were literally getting thrown by the wind, and they were like having to hold onto rails for dear life.
It was,
and then the lounging chairs were flying up. Like one hit a lady. It was crazy.
Yeah, to be fair, they did say that the captain told everybody to go inside, but people were wanting to try to see the winds and everything. Like, just listen.
Janome Quilt Maker Pro 20. There we go. Pamela's a Rangers fan. Look, I love Matt Rempe, so I have no problem if the Rangers win it all. I used to be a Sharks fan because that's where I grew up, and I would go to all of the Sharks games all the time.
Didn't they move?
No, Sharks are still in the Golden Knights.
Okay.
Sort of the sense, but they were fancy. And then I love the Red Wings, but we don't live in Detroit, so we don't get to go to any games anymore. So and the Red Wings aren't in it, and the Sharks aren't in it, so I have no real allegiance. I like the Golden Knights, so that'd be great, but the Rangers, I have no problem with that. Amy has the handy quilter version.
Yeah, I thought so, but I didn't want to lie.
Oh, so I've got some fun questions. Well, I think they're fun.
He didn't like any of the questions I came up with.
No, I didn't. So maybe not fun, but I'm always curious. And no one say water. Like, we get it. You're awesome. Don't say water. What is your favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Lemonade, probably.
Really?
Yeah, I really love lemonade, but it has to be like a really good fresh one. There's some that you can get from the store that are okay, like Simply Lemonade's okay. But if I took the time to make it myself, like got lemons, juice them, use a simple syrup, all that and got it just the right amount of tart and sweet, then that's what I would go for. It's just hard. Like, it's a lot of work. And so you buy it if you're really craving lemonade, and then it's just not always that good.
So I think I'm going to go a bit off the wall here.
That's not surprising.
Yeah. And I would go with like a root beer float. I love root beer floats. I know you're not a fan because you don't like root beer, but root beer floats would probably be my favorite.
Root beer.
I know.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is what it is. Maybe I'll do that. Iced coffee with cream and sugar. Sounds delicious. As long as it's like a really mild coffee.
So on the Creed 99 cruise, there was 99 Creed. There was Creed, Daughtry, who I just can't stand. Verve Pipe I like, Fuel I love, Buck Cherry I love, 9 Days is great, and something called Jimmy's Chicken Shake, which I've never heard of. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah. Dragonflies from Sonic. I know Sonic makes a lot of drinks. I don't know what a dragonfly is, but it probably is delicious. Sweet tea.
I like Mexican Coca-Cola is so good. It's so much better. I love that so many restaurants here have it.
I go into a huge diatribe about why it is that other countries have food that has no crap in it and we don't. But Mexican tea is delicious.
Tea?
Mexican Coke. I'm sure Mexican tea is fine too. Angela said sweet tea, and so I was.
I was like, what are you hiding from me? Where is this better tea you're talking about?
Let's see. Michelle just had an A&W root beer floated dinner. Good for you. I love that stuff. I'm not a huge fan of A&W root beer on its own, but if you get to go to an A&W restaurant and they have it on tap, it's the best. But I don't like the canned or bottled stuff nearly as much. Half tea, half lemonade. Where I'm from, at least we call that an Arnold Palmer.
Unless you're at Chick-fil-A and then it's a Sunjoy.
Yeah, that's. I'm right there with you, Amy, but I don't want to. That'll just make me mad.
The truth, though.
Man, I had something insightful to say. Now I don't remember what it was.
Because your mind is going with where.
I know. I'm in a bad place, Amy. I don't remember.
It's like the kind of stuff you love to talk about, but you can only do that not in public. Here, take care of this for me.
But I don't know what it means. What do I want to do with
hold it up all pretty like you did last time, because it wasn't all wrinkled whenever I. Oh, maybe you should show it first though. Oh, so another row's done.
So here we go. I'm gonna start from this side.
You did a really good job folding it last week because I didn't have to press out any wrinkles.
The Marine Corps taught me how to fold quite well. Do you have any
have
wrinkles?
Have we told that story?
Which one? I think we have. So this is not nearly as tragic or problematic as what's going on with Auntie Hamnade and her missing quilt, which I think is.
That's I can't even imagine. I would just cry. I really would, because you put so much work into that.
So, a year ago, maybe even a bit longer, a year and a half, we had a situation on our property where one of the trees, it was either high wind or got struck by lightning, I'm not sure, but it fell and it broke. We have a perimeter fence, a cast iron fence, and it broke part of it. So we had to have someone come out and fix it. And then when I just never had really paid that much attention, I looked at our trees and I'm like, some of these probably just need to be taken down because they're dead and I don't want them to fall. And they're huge trees, right? We're 100, 150 feet tall. but clearly dead trees. So I called out an arborist, and they did a bunch of work. I think they only took like 3 or 4 trees down, so it wasn't a whole bunch because he said the rest of them were fine. And
I'm still not sure that was.
Oh well, now I probably need to get another arborist out. But while he was there, part of our property basically literally forms a lake when it rains a lot, which it does here in Texas. So I had asked him, what his thoughts on how we could fix it, and he came up with the plan basically. And I paid him $800 as a down payment.
I was trying to remember where you were going with this, and I blocked that out, and so now I'm gonna be like annoyed again.
So I paid him $800 as like a down payment to get the materials, and that was a year. Let's call it a year and 3 months, and the work's still never been done.
He doesn't even return calls.
So we started calling after a couple weeks, and he's like, "Oh, it's been raining, so I don't want to do the work because it's going to be hard, and I don't want to have to drive tractors all the way through your property."
Which makes sense.
Totally
because
does.
You don't want to tear it up more back there.
But then what they would end up doing is the guy that owns the company is actually fine. It's his son who does all the work. He's a clown, and so he would literally show up at our house uninvited at 4:30 p.m. and say, "Hey, I'm here to do the work." Now, no one would be home because people have jobs or my wife was out or whatever. And so he would just leave. He'd call, say, "Hey, I'm here." And we're like, "Yeah, no one's there." And he would leave, but he would never schedule. So that happened for a couple months. And then they just stopped calling and coming. And it's like, well, I just need to go get the money back because those guys are clowns. But at least they didn't steal one of our quilts.
Yeah.
Yes, we will, Amy. Vera wants to know what pattern you were using, and I don't remember.
So it's Trifles. It's linked in the description of this video. It's So Emma pattern. If on her website, I think it's soemma.com. You can go on there, and it's a downloadable pattern as well, or you can get the paper pattern. Because I know, if it's available for a download, I usually buy it that way, but I always regret it. I don't know. I just prefer having one. I know you can print it, but we don't have a color printer anymore. I broke it. I don't know how. I break a lot of random stuff.
She breaks a lot of stuff, including herself.
That's true. I'm still recovering from another burn. But anyway, yeah, so it's available on there. So you can either download it or purchase a paper version of it.
So Lorraine has a conundrum. His quilt got washed by someone who's not a quilter and now has spots all over it.
Is it from the fabric bleeding? Is what the spots are?
So it says the first is not too bad, but the back is white and now has red splotches all over.
So there's a product. Oh my goodness, what is it called that a lot of people use to wash it, and it can sometimes pull those colors out, but I can't think of what it's called. I'm sure somebody in the chat will know. But if you look up
color catchers, says Bettina. I don't know.
You should always wash them with color catchers first. You could try that, and it probably will pull some of it out. There's another product. Luane, I will, if nobody puts it up in chat, I will try to look it up after we get off here, or it might pop into my head randomly when we're not on this conversation anymore, because that happens to me all the time. But I'll try to look it up. Yes, there it is. Amy put it in. I can always rely on her.
Synthropol or Orvis paste. That's the answer, Luane. I'm not sure which one, but one of those.
They're probably very similar. The first one, the S.
Synthropol.
Yeah, it's what I was thinking
of. So Ray, I've opened a can of worms. Ray says her son-in-law paid a taxidermist $900, gave him an elk to mount. A year later, her husband and son-in-law had to drive to Prescott, because I've been there and I went to college in Arizona, so I know how to say it. That's Prescott for all of you non-Arizonans. So went to Prescott, and the guy gave them back the head, no refund, and told them that he was going through a divorce.
That's not their fault.
That's definitely not their fault.
Oh.
So,
that's so hard when stuff like that happens, because you know, that's you can't replace that memory.
No,
Like,
you really can't. Okay, so here's a fun question. If you could watch any movie again for the first time, meaning that whatever prior knowledge you had of the movie you no longer have, what would it be? I mean, it's an easy answer for me.
Really?
It's a movie I've only seen one time, and I refuse to watch it again because the best part of it, the sort of crescendo of the movie was so good that it like you just can't watch it again because you know what the whole movie built up to. So for me, it's Little Miss Sunshine.
That whole movie's horrible until then.
The point is, and I'm not going to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but the movie just drags along, and it's like, what's going on here?
Horrible. It's just, it's not like
it's not.
It doesn't pull you in.
It doesn't.
Like,
but I'm the type of person, when I start a movie, I have to finish it, and man, I am so glad I did, because you go through like an hour and 50 minutes of like, this was the most boring blah movie ever, and then there's one scene that just brings it all together, and you can't unsee it, but you also can't watch it again because you know exactly what's going to happen. So that would be it, because I literally laughed for like 5 minutes when that scene happened. So Jill Chappell says Quarterback Princess. I don't even know what that is.
Pollyanna, I love that movie. It is. I don't think it's a you movie, but I love that movie.
Never. I maybe have heard of it. Star Wars from Elaine. Ooh, Armageddon. So Braveheart, Armageddon. I'll watch Armageddon a whole bunch of times. Obviously at the end of the movie something happens, and if you know what happens, I guess it's fun, but I love watching that movie. Sixth Sense, that's a good one, because
that's automatically what came to my mind, because as good as I really like the movie, I can't remember if you liked it or not. You don't really like, is it with Thriller? I don't know. But I like that movie a lot, but it's not as fun watching it after you know what happens.
Steel Magnolias, Grease, and all the Rocky movies, Jurassic Park, because of the Nightmares. Okay, I get that. Sixth Sense, we talked about that. Steel Magnolias, Big Bet's Feast. Angela says the very first movie she saw was with her mom, Wizard of Oz. Saw it in the theater. And she always loves seeing like the black and white stuff to get a color.
Yeah, I love the shift.
Thank you, DJ. DJ says finally caught the lives, always the replay generally, and loves your videos.
Thank you.
The Green Mile for Zaza. Secondhand Line. Don't know what that is.
Why am I going to press this when I haven't even sewed it yet?
So Joyce says Pride and Prejudice. So I guess my question to you, Joyce, is did you read the book before you watched it? And if not, I guess it makes sense. If so, you already knew what was going to happen, I imagine. I have not watched the movie, so I assume it's probably not nearly as good as the book, because movies almost never are. The Heat. I don't know what that is. Legend with Tim Curry. I haven't seen that. I
think The Heat was with Sandra Bullock.
I don't know. Star Wars, maybe. Jaws, Pink Panther, Ladder 49. Man, I've not heard a lot of these movies.
The video might not be in sync with the chat. If you at the top of the chat, it will say top messages. If you have top messages on, they won't be in order with the. If you'd have to change it to live.
Yeah, you have to go to live chat.
Yeah. Again, I don't know why YouTube often defaults to top chat, because I don't know how they determine. It's not like you can like someone's message on here, so I don't know how they determine what the top chat comments are, but I don't know. But that should get it, if you're able to change it,
Yeah.
that should get it back in line. It's hard because I know, like, sometimes you watch on the TV or something like that, and I don't know if you can change it on there.
I can't change it for them, but they can change it themselves.
Yeah, but I just mean on the TV. If you're watching it on, I don't think, because you can't comment on there. Well, they are commenting, so there you go. They're not on the TV.
Well, DJ is packing for a quilt retreat, so that's fun.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, it has to be Little Miss Sunshine because it was literally I laughed.
Have you ever watched it again? Or
No,
was it only that one time?
Because like the movie sucked, but for that one thing, and it's like that was hilarious. But now I know what's coming,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna laugh. Like I'll be like, oh, I know what's about to happen. So that would be mine. Oh, you never really answered. You said that like Sixth Sense came to mind.
That was what came to mind. I'm trying to think. I don't know, because like most of the movies that come to mind are movies that I still enjoy to watch either way. Like
that's true.
I'm trying to think of something. I think it would have to be Sixth Sense, just because that one's like surprised me so much. But
the only other one I can think is Princess Bride. Now I can literally recite that movie from beginning to end,
but you
and
still
I
watch it
do
either
when
way,
you watch it. But I went into that movie thinking I was going to hate it, and it's one of my favorites now. So I think I'd like to go back to the first time I watched it and the joy that came from watching it, because it was definitely unexpected. But yeah, I mean, we talked about watching a movie tonight, but maybe we'll watch that one instead.
No, because I'm already set on the other one.
I forgot, what was the other one?
Well, I can't think of the name.
Anyone But You.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay.
I'm gonna put this one on top. No.
Denise says hello, and that hers is The Bodyguard. That's the one with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I think. So, I think I had.
What book is Amy talking about?
Star Wars. But
first one in my book. I thought book, and I was like, I love to read. What book are they talking about?
Angela says Princess Bride is one of her favorite movies and great on the big screen. I've never seen it on the big screen, although I feel like when we lived in Ann Arbor, they have the State Street Theater, which is the Michigan Theater. And they would play movies like that all the time. I never went because when I lived there, I was in law school, so it didn't have a whole lot. Or I was a young attorney because we lived there for a while. But yeah, I never had time. But I would love to go see.
I want to see Back to the Future on the big screen. They keep playing it at the theater by us, but I always forget when it's playing because they'll only play it for one day.
Yeah.
Really
good evening, or have fun, Lynn. Let us know when your video comes up. We'd love to watch it. Videos. Yeah, I think you said that. Yeah, that's a good question. So I'd love to see Back to the Future on the big screen. I would love to see the original Batman with Michael Keaton on the big screen, because I think that would be really fun to watch. Princess Bride, I think, would be another fun one. Armageddon probably too, now that I'm thinking about it, just because there's so much going on.
Candace, The Princess Bride is really good. I think it is an acquired taste because we love it. Well, but the kids don't.
Well, that's because they're teenagers. They don't want to sit through that.
I liked it when I was.
They're teenagers that grew up with technology, not teenagers like us.
I mean, you have to kind of like fantasy type movies. There's not one bit of that movie that's realistic.
Let's see.
I think it's so good though. It's perfectly cast.
That movie's so good. And like, just if you get an opportunity either in person or just on YouTube or wherever to listen to some of the interviews that the cast have done over the years, like they talk about it like it was the greatest time of their lives. They all seem to really have a good time on set, and some of the backstories are just hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth a listen.
Right, Angela?
Yeah. Well, okay, Luann, that's fine. Adam West was a fine Batman, but Michael Keaton will always be Batman to me. Okay, so third question. I actually had 4 questions, so I'm going to see which one would be best. Go with this one because I'm curious to see what people would say. I'm also very curious to see what your answer would be. If you could choose a new first name for yourself, what would it be?
I wouldn't change mine because I like that it's unique.
No, that's not how this game is played.
Think of one.
Come up with a new one. No. A new unique name. Dolphin Girl. Unique.
Like Phoebe from in Friends.
Princess Banana. What is it? Princess Sophia Banana Hammock?
Yeah. I think that's so hard because you're so used to your name. Like picking a different one would be.
Angela says anyone but Robert Pattinson for Batman. So Jill would want to be Jillian. Now I have to ask, are you cheating because is Jill short for Jillian and you're really just fooling us all, or is it because you want to be Jillian? I think for me, and this is the name that I wanted to name our son, but my wife wouldn't let me. So I'm 100% German, and you're what, 75% German? Yeah. So Harmon is a German name, which means soldier, fighter, depending on how you want to interpret it. But it's a unique name. I love it. I wanted to name our son Harmon, but she wouldn't let me. So,
and you know what? That was smart because I guess Hunter's still that is what it is. But he definitely has more of my personality.
That's absolutely. So Bettina would want to be Sandy. Barbara would want to be Esme, which is a great name. Ray would be Madeline. Sewing with Luann would be I think that's Michael. But I'm not sure if it's pronounced differently based on the way it's. So it is Michael.
Just probably went crazy.
Sylvia would be Isabel. Sarah would be Peggy. Zaza would be Imogen. That's a very European name, or at least the only people I've ever known that were named Imogen were European. Okay, so Jill is actually Jill, and she loves the name Jillian.
I like that name.
Melissa would choose Ryan. Lynette would choose Barbara. My wife would be Dolphin Girl. That's what the answer is until you come up with a better one. I don't know how you think on the spot I could come up with another name when it took us so long to pick our kids' names. Yeah, I sort of feel like everyone always has, if you had to change your name, what would it be? I feel like people. I think if you had asked me when I was younger, when everyone picked on my name, and in school nobody knew how to say it, when you were in a new class or had a substitute and all that, then I probably would have. But now that I don't care about that kind of stuff anymore. So. So Angela says she loved the name Genevieve. And then Myrtle in some sense. Sarah, Sarah, did your parents get divorced immediately thereafter? She says her dad came in and changed her birth certificate from Linda to Sarah. Now, was it because they made a mistake? Was it because he was trying to pull a power play on your mom? I got to know what the story there is. Candace would want to be Nicole. Auntie El Hamed would want to be Liba, which is her Hebrew name. I know I was supposed to be Ashley. Really? That does not fit you. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
Well, we were going to name Lorelai Kaylee at first, and that does not fit her.
No, it does not. I'm glad we didn't. Debbie would want to be Lee or Lay. I'm pretty sure it's Lee, but I've seen some people or heard people pronounce it Lay. Lisa would be Miranda.
So, are there any names that you would have never named your child or never wanted to have because you knew somebody with that name? And I mean, it's mean, but you just did not like them, so you'd always associate it with that name.
Yeah, there were a couple names for our kids. It's like, oh, I love this name, but I really hate the one person I know that has it. So that's not going to work because I don't want that.
That's fine if they're going together. Did you get the text?
Yeah, are they going right now?
I don't know. What time is it? I guess I didn't even.
8. Okay, that's fine. Days. So my daughter just texted me to see if she and her brother, our son, could go get dinner together, and it's like I'm confused because I thought they'd already eaten, but apparently they haven't. But sure, but why are they being nice to each other? It's not normal.
They have been a lot lately. I think it goes through phases with your age on getting along and not getting along. But yeah. No, Hunter ate a late lunch and Lorelai was planning, I think, to go eat with her friend, remember? And something probably came up with that. So
Sarah says no, her mom was mad because the aunt tried to pull a power play.
Oh.
Well, good for your dad. Welcome, May Dawn Creations. She said just hop on. Amy would be Leslie.
Oh, no, Amy. I boycott that. Or boycott that. You are definitely Amy.
Melissa would be Bertha. Let's see.
Maybe I always loved the name Felicity.
Oh, I do, and it's a good word too. It makes me think of You've Got Mail. Words like thither, Felicity, when she's talking about Pride and Prejudice. So May Dawn's name is actually Taryn, and her mom was going to name her Destiny. I've always liked the name Taryn. I knew a girl in middle school whose name was Taryn. Jill's name, or Jillian, which is what I'm going to call you now. Her daughter's name is Jenny K.
Oh, Amy, the name that she had said was she didn't like it because of like somebody she knew, that name that she had said.
Yeah. Deborah would be Adele. That's a good name. Zaza says you suddenly realize how many people you don't like when trying to pick names for your children.
I know. I can feel that. I remember that.
It's so true.
Because I think there was a name I really liked that we were thinking about using for a middle name for Hunter, and you did not like the name.
Yeah, I'm sure there was something.
I can't think of what it is now.
Candace says Christy and Ashley were the biggest bees in school.
I'm glad that didn't end up being my name.
Gayla says when she was younger, she would have changed hers, but she likes it now because it's uncommon. No, so Candace, we got that asked a lot. So neither of us had even knew Gilmore Girls existed at the time. We wanted to go with German names. Our son's sort of the one oddball out because I wasn't allowed to name him Harmon.
You're going to be bitter about that forever. And so all can imagine with him being our son, what sons are like. You brought it up to him that's what you know, and he's like, he loves the name. He's like, why didn't y'all name me that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
So no, we chose Lorelai because there's not many German female names that go over well.
That's not nice to say.
It's a fact.
Yeah, we didn't like it.
So it's not very easy to pick a pretty German women's name. And so Lorelei was one that we settled on. And it's spelled the grammatically German proper way. It's not spelled like the weird way that they spell it in Gilmore Girls.
So many people, I'd never watched that show before, and so many people kept asking, if it was from there. I'm like, no, I never watched the show before. So I finally had to watch it. I don't know if you know this, but the show was fine. I liked it just fine, but our daughter finally had started watching it a year or two ago because people always asked her if that's where her name's from, and she's gotten so tired of saying no and trying to explain it. Now she just says yes to people.
No, that she. So Amy was saying Leslie is the name she does not want because of bad associations.
Yeah. You're not late, Donnell.
Oh, so Nadine, funny story. So Nadine says she hates her name because her father named her after an old girlfriend. I think I told you the story, or I may have just told Zach and Nico, but so the last semester I taught a course. Oh, I teach courses every semester, but when this one girl was introducing herself, or I was trying to identify all the students, and I honestly don't remember what her name is, but it was spelled in a way that I couldn't figure out how to pronounce it. So I was like, hey, how do you pronounce your name? Because I don't want to butcher it. And again, I don't remember what it is. And I was like, oh, that's really unique. Where does it come from?
Oh, you did tell me. Now it's come like.
And man, her father. So basically, the story she told me was that when her dad was in high school, I think it was like his football coach or something, or I don't remember who it was, but there was some adult male in his life with whom he spent a lot of time. And that adult male, let's call it his football coach, had a daughter. And her dad was obsessed with this girl and he wanted to date her, but the coach would never let him. So he decided to name his daughter after, and this is how she said it. She said, my dad named me off after the daughter, or my dad named me after the girl that was his dream girl in high school that he was never allowed to date. And I was like, that's a little bit weird. But, and it didn't go over all that well in class either. There were a lot of people that were not happy with that answer.
It'd just be so awkward, like at the point. But I mean, I guess she was very secure then with their relationship. And
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Carlana wants to. She just wants a name people can pronounce.
I feel that. That's how I felt in school. I think it's like now it's a little easier for people because now what I always get is, oh, like Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, that's so much easier. Danelle would choose Avril, which is April in French. Karen would choose Amelia. That's a pretty name. I love the name Amelia.
Hey, Donnell, if you are still in the chat, is your big event going on this weekend during your live? Because if it is, I would love to kind of talk about it so that people know what you have going on your channel. I'm just not sure when you're setting it up, so I don't want to give the wrong time.
Zaza says her friend is German and her middle name is Hildegard, German name. Luckily, her dad vetoed that as being her first name, and it's just their middle name. But yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of very pretty German female names. Angela says her grandmother's name was Myrtle, and her dad called her Turtle Myrtle.
Oh, no.
When they were debating politics.
Yeah. You got to have a little bit of humor going on during that. Ooh, have fun, Amy.
Oh, it's Sunday. For some reason, I thought your live was on Saturday. So yes, Amy's having her. I think it's your first ever live on Sunday. I am very interested to see how that goes because
especially and your friend's going to be on it with you, right? Isn't that what she? Yeah. So watch that on Sunday, and then Donnell is going live on Saturday. I'm assuming probably at your regular time at 9, and she is celebrating being monetized on her channel now, and she's going to be doing some fun giveaways. So if you like to win stuff, which I know we all do, definitely check out her channel and check out her live.
let's see.
So at 9 Central, I think.
Well, she's in the Eastern time zone, so
Donnell?
yes.
She's in Michigan.
Yes, that's the Eastern time zone, babe.
Is it? Well,
we
it's
lived
9
there for like.
But it's 9 Central here still.
Just you can put in the chat, Donnell, when you're starting. Just to...
Is it? I always thought it was Central there.
In Eastern, babe.
Well, we didn't live there.
Oh, hey, Sean. Sean just showed up. So 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific.
Well, I was still right at the time. It just wasn't the time for.
And I guess that would be what, 4 Hawaii, 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Hawaii? I'm not sure. Let's see. So Christy says, hope you were not affected by the terrible tornado weather a few days ago. We had strong winds. I don't think we actually had any rain. We had strong winds. We lost power for a bit, but it wasn't.
We always lose power. We lose power whenever nothing's going on. So that's nothing new.
Yeah, so it was nothing really bad. Just like I said, a lot of wind.
The only thing that made me mad is when it went out when I was trying to upload a video. So yeah, that was fun.
Luane has a live on Saturday as well.
Oh, awesome. Did he put what time it is?
He did not.
And Sean goes live.
Sean goes live at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern.
I think I need one more.
At midnight in Eastern time zones. That's right. I always forget the Australians. My bad. Grindle, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. She said, well, I don't know if it's he or she. I've had to pronounce and spell my first name my whole life, which makes a lot of sense because that's not an easy name to pronounce or spell. Oh, apparently Sister Chick had a video about what we sent her for her retreat.
So she had a short video showing what we sent, but she also her retreat was last weekend. So they posted a few videos from there.
There you go. Luane is usually live Saturdays 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain.
You're really good at spreadsheets. You should put one together with everything.
Yeah. Spreadsheets are my safe space. So, Constance, we have battery backup for some things in our house.
When we moved in, we had talked about getting a generator, and there was none available because it was in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, so, yeah. They were literally like, it's 18 months out. It's like, well, I'm not going to give you 20 grand and wait 18 months while you get to keep the interest on my money. That's dumb.
And so then as it's gone on, like our plan is not to stay living here. So we're just like, well, we can wait out another year.
Yeah.
At this point when I don't even know if they're really even easy to get still. I think.
No, they're not. Yeah, one of literally every other day we're like, hey, we should move. Now, if it weren't for our daughter who plays soccer, we would move immediately. But there's only a handful of places that we'd even be able to move that have this level of soccer she plays.
And honestly, if depending on what school she goes to, if she's playing at a school we're going to want to be close by where we can see games. So it's also like, why move again, depending on where she goes to school to play.
Yeah, I mean, she's just, I think her preference geographically is similar to ours, which is more or less the Midwest. So almost all of the schools that she's looking at and that are interested in her are in the Midwest. The exception, like coastal Carolinas and South Carolina.
Yeah, but we would still go there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where she's gonna play. We just have to move again at some point.
So,
but yeah, like I would love to be able to see all of her games if we could. I mean, we see them all now, so.
Yeah, that's true. Like the only game of our daughters that I have missed was the game she scored her first goal.
She was like 6.
No, maybe she was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So that was really frustrating. I've got to see her score goals after that, but it was just really annoying to miss the first one. And we only missed it because I coached my son's baseball team, and they had games. Literally, it was the only game in the 3 years that we lived there, and that they were on different teams, that they had a game at the same time. And it was the first game of the season for both of them. But we have not missed any games. But my wife missed one game because our dog scratched his eyes really badly and cut himself the night before we had a game, and so someone had to stay at home. We had to take him to the vet. He had the cone of shame,
and he needed medication to make sure it didn't get infected. And the person we had lined up to come to the house and watch him, we just didn't want to make her have to do all that, the medications, and because I mean it was pretty gnarly, and one of them had to get rubbed on his eye. It was like, I just don't want to make someone that wasn't the plan that they had. So
So Sean, I like Virginia, but schools have, for soccer at least, schools have nothing to do with it. Like high school soccer is about 8 levels below elite club soccer. So it's not a school issue, unfortunately. It's a club soccer issue. So and the last time I checked, I don't believe there are any good elite soccer clubs in Virginia. Like they're sort of centralized in. There's a handful in Colorado. There's some in Indiana. There's some in Michigan. Some in Houston. There's a bunch in California, but we aren't going to live there because I don't want to give away 60% of the money that we make to taxes because I hate taxes. So there's just very few locations throughout the U.S. that have very high-level elite soccer teams.
Wayne, our daughter has gone to a couple of the Texas A&M soccer camps that they have.
She is, although she is much more interested in playing for Texas A&M in Corpus Christi, not Texas A&M in College Station, because A&M Corpus Christi, one, they have a very good soccer team, but two, it's literally on an island and it's beautiful, and she is very interested in that. So she actually is going out for a recruiting trip there in June. So we'll see how that goes.
Constance tonight, a bunch are under tornado watches in warning. That's scary.
Still?
I know there was a bunch recently. Was it in Oklahoma?
It's Oklahoma, and I think it's in Nebraska, maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It is crazy.
The weather has been wild, like flooding in California and.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, ideally, we would like to move, and once our daughter graduates and goes to whatever college she's going to go to, we're going to move. And ideally, it will be in a place that we want to move long term, but also where she's playing soccer, so that we can go to all her games. Nowadays, all of the high-level college programs, they televise their games, so we'd at least be able to watch it that way, but
it's just different to be there.
It is, although I know a lot of the schools, depending on what conference they're in, like the Big Ten plays on Thursdays and Saturdays. So it wouldn't be that difficult for us to fly up to wherever she's going to play and watch the 2 games for the weekend and then come back home. But
yeah, it just wouldn't be ideal.
Right. But it's
I'm going to sew this one on and then we can go watch a movie, fall asleep, whatever we do first. Well, we can't fall asleep till the kids get back. But...
No one's perfect, Sarah. It's okay. Bad decisions were made at some point in your life. We don't hold it against you. Yeah, we talk like Michigan is probably at the very top of our list, although
that would be a tough one though, just because I mean it's going to be very competitive. I mean, I think our daughter is the best soccer player in the world, but
yeah, well, no, she's interested in Central Michigan too because they have a good team.
No.
But, oh no, what happened?
I need to clean the iron. There must have been some dust or something that got on it. That's not fun. Hopefully it'll come out whenever I wash it.
Yeah, if we move back to Michigan, it would probably be in the Ann Arbor, Saline, Plymouth sort of area. Just because Ann Arbor has so much fun stuff going on, and the farmers market is glorious. And you're close enough. Like the national team isn't in Ann Arbor anymore, but the U.S. what is the development team? USNTDP hockey team. They used to be in Ann Arbor and play at the Ice Cube. Now they play in either Plymouth or Canton. I don't remember, but it's close enough to drive and watch them all the time.
DJ Walker, I will try to put together a list of people that I recommend to watch it. I think you mean on YouTube. So I'll try to put that together. I mentioned a few on here, some others that I do like to watch. I can't remember if I mentioned Chris from Sew the Distance. I like watching her videos a lot. I don't think I mentioned hers, but I did mention, like Sew Becca and off Quilter Crafter Ian. We talked about the postcards that
Amy has a fun channel to know. Luane, just trying to think of Debbie.
Handmade by Ying with Donna. Definitely try to check out her channel right now. I'm sure a lot of you saw the posts that went up where she had a stroke over the weekend. So definitely keep her in your prayers if you pray or whatever else you do. That's fine too. But yeah, definitely very, very sad. And so hopefully she recovers quickly, and it's just awful.
On a lighter note, Joyce, there is a possibility. Well, my dream is to own a soccer club. I'd like to own a Premier League team. I don't think we have enough money to buy a Premier League team, but like I could get like a championship team and try and get them into the Premier League. So if that happens and I buy a team, then we're going to move to England because I want to be around the team.
We really, really want to make at least a trip because we would love to go see like the Wolves, Man City. I mean, I would be fine seeing any. I don't care what team it would be to play. It would just be.
Yeah, definitely. Wolves are our team. So definitely want to go to Birmingham and watch a game there. Plus, like, I've been to England a handful of times. I've never been to a football game, but from everything I know, one of my clients and a very good friend of mine is from Britain.
Have you folded up?
And we talk about Birmingham all the time. And like the one thing I like about the Wolves is their fans don't seem horrible like some of the other fans. Like I'm not a fan of I'm using the word fan a lot. Not a fan of the Crystal Palace fans. They all seem like douches. There's some other teams that seem to have.
Well, just mean by that because for us we see them throwing like stuff onto the field and things like that.
Yeah.
But
so that's awesome, Zaza. If they need another investor or they want to get bought out, let me know. Oh, it depends on what. If they're in like, the National League, that's probably not interesting. But no, Sarah. So I've never been to a professional soccer game in England. I have been to professional soccer games in the US. I've been to some World Cup games. And I've been to numerous professional football games as well. When I was growing up, one of my neighbors played for the San Francisco Giants and one of them played for the Oakland A's. Literally, like, it bordered my house. And they, as professional athletes, got like tickets to go to games all the time. And they would take me with them. So, been to a lot of professional games. Been to a did I go to that Super Bowl? I don't think I did. I was invited to go to the Super Bowl that was in Stanford in, I don't remember what year, 96, whatever it was, but I didn't end up going. But yeah, I've never been to a professional football / soccer game in England, but I have been to professional soccer games.
There is a newer channel that I shared a amazing video in the community board. If you're able to pull it and post
What
it
am
in
I
here,
doing this?
that song, the quilting song, the 500 yards.
Yeah, let me see.
If you have not watched that, oh my goodness, I probably watched it 3 times. I tried to have the kids watch it. They were not interested, but I think they don't know what the song comes from either. But was it the Proclaimers that sing the song?
Yeah, it's the Proclaimers.
I love that song just in general, but this video was amazing.
I'm sorry, I'm looking here. Rowena, welcome we're not from Winnipeg, you are. Really, I love the Jets. Very disappointed that they did not do better in the playoffs. But yeah.
So it's Trifles. It's So Emma. Really good pattern.
I'm trying to find that video. So, here we go.
Yeah, thank you. Because maybe you have all watched the video by now, or maybe you don't like music and don't want to watch it. I don't know, but I thought they did an amazing job. Just every time I watch it, I would notice different things. Like at first, I thought his shirt was his shirt was changing in the video, but the quilt behind him changes. The quilts on the chairs change. I love that he's holding like a seam roller as a microphone. Just like it was a really well done.
A couple of people have seen it. Oh yeah. So
yeah, it's really good. Yeah. So I started following. I think they only had one other video. I need to watch that one. I don't think it was like a song or anything, but they said that they were planning more like that, and so I cannot wait. We need a quilt anthem.
We do. That was a pretty good one though.
I don't know how they can top that. I hope they do, but that would be hard to top.
Yeah. So
all right, well, we have got through another of our Wednesday evening chats. I have so much fun getting on here and chatting with all of you. And I know we did pretty good with that. Like last week, we had so much stuff we wanted to go through and talk about since we had been sick for so long and didn't really have a way to update and everything. But as a recap, we have a lot more of the products in our shop in clear posted now. We have the Slidelocks. A few people have been asking for those with the clear acrylic, the flying geese, and
the paper piecing rulers,
yeah,
and all the trim locks.
And so what we're going to be working on is getting the quilt locks done. And was there anything else, or did we get everything?
The triangle or the diamond trim lock.
I thought you.
I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, because I took the pictures, but I forgot to edit them. So that should be going up soon. But otherwise, I think the rest of them are up. So that was really the only kind of news.
Yep. The only other thing is we're still doing our anniversary drawing. So someone will win a brand new Juki TL18 QVP. If you want to enter, you just buy something from our online store. Anything can be. I think the cheapest thing on there is a pattern, maybe like $3.99. Or you can buy whatever you want. Like obviously, we prefer you buy everything. But if you make any purchase, you're automatically entered. And if you don't want to make a purchase, go to the website. There's a link that shows you how you can enter without having to make a purchase. And all of the rules and such are online.
Yep. So coming up, be sure to check out all the lives coming up this weekend. So it'll take off with Sean from The Guy Who Sews Saturday at 7 a.m. Donnell is going to be celebrating her achievements
Monetization.
on YouTube. So she has some giveaways. So check those out. And then you'll have Luane later that day. I think Ian goes live on Saturdays too, right?
Saturdays or Sundays? I don't remember.
And then Amy will be live on Sunday. And Tiffany in the evening on Sunday. I think it's 8 Central for us. It could be 7. But all of them usually have a reminder go up on their channel. So check all those out if you really like watching lives. It's a lot of fun because then you get to make new friends in the chat and everything. So if you want something to do on the weekend while you're sewing, it's a fun way to do it.
Yep. Each Sunday at 2 p.m. for Ian.
Oh,
2 p.m. Eastern or I think it's, for some reason I thought it was earlier, but no.
Well, thank you for looking at that. We'll try to get a list together for everyone because I know people like knowing when everyone goes live so that they can chat with everyone. It's a lot of fun.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much and have a great evening. And we will chat next week.
See you then. Bye.